everyone, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I am working on breaking down our paycheck budget. This is actually my husband's variable income, and we have already allocated 10% of what the income is to our tithe. That is a personal choice, and it's part of our beliefs, and we have been eternally blessed by doing this. But if you don't tithe or you don't believe in doing that, then you can obviously skip over it. I do always suggest to live within percentages. So what that is you have 100% of your income, right? You receive that in your bank account. And then with that, you break down your budget based on what you are spending, what you are saving, what you are giving, and what you are paying off in your debt. So this is the formula that I have always used since the beginning of my budgeting journey, which was back in 2018. And the formula goes like this. You take your income, figure out what is 70% of that. This is what will go towards all of your expenses, your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, anything that leaves your bank account. So for your bills, your gas, groceries, anything that leaves your wallet as well, this will go under that 70% umbrella. Now, if that's a little bit too tight for your budget, then bump it up to 80%. So living off of 80% of what your take-home pay is. Then what is left, if you don't tithe, you will put 30% towards your goal. And that can include any of your savings goals and debt payoff. But since we do tithe, we give 10% for that, and then 20% goes towards our goal, which is for saving. And right now we are in the process of moving long distance, which is really exciting, but it can also be super stressful. So right now we're pausing everything for savings wise, like for Christmas and birthdays and all of that, because we want to pile up as much cash for this major move. So that's really where all of our stuff is going, and we do have to allocate for tithe. That's kind of the gist. So now that you have that formula, you can also work on your paycheck budget. And I hope that this just gives you some motivation and encouragement on how to create a paycheck budget. We like to live and break down each and every paycheck, because it's making sure that we're giving every single one of our dollars a job. We want to be really intentional with our budget. There has been a time where we kind of neglected that. We lost the drive, we lost the vision, but now we're realizing the importance of tracking our spending, the importance of using cash over a credit card or a debit card. Even though we pay off our credit card at the end of, when we get the bills, we don't carry balances on our personal credit card. So, but we do end up spending way more money on a card versus when we use cash. And statistics actually show that you spend percentage-wise way more using a debit or credit card over cash. So that's just something to take note of, okay? All right, so let me go ahead and zoom you guys in a bit just so you can see how we are breaking down this paycheck budget. So this is what we are working with, $2,242.09. For rent, we are gonna put, and this is not for the month, it is only for this paycheck breakdown, okay? So rent, we are gonna contribute $337.50 towards that. Internet, we're gonna put $17. iTunes is 99 cents. And we don't withdraw our bills in cash. We just keep that in our bank account. And we just make sure not to spend this because it's already given a purpose. So we just keep that balance in our account, and that's how we break things down. Car insurance, we are going to put aside $29. Life insurance is $17.78. Our electric bill, we're going to put $72 for that. $23 for water. This Addition Financial Credit Union, we're going to put aside $126.50. And then my husband had used his credit card for something, so we're just going to pay that back. So that is $87.50. So let's go ahead and add that up. So the total is $711.27. So you take your income and you subtract the $711.27, and that gives you $1,500. $530.82 to still budget out for. Now, for my husband's job, there's certain materials that still have to be purchased and different things for what he's doing. So we're just going to put aside $300 to his account. And then gas, we're breaking down for 2 weeks worth of our variable spending, okay? So these numbers are going to be a little higher than what they typically are. This worked really well for us the last paycheck, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing this time around just to plan ahead, because we're leaving our jobs and we're moving, and so there's going to be a gap between when we get our new income. So I'm just trying to like plan these things out and make sure we put things in savings and we are really intentional and we're planning ahead for those weeks where we're not going to receive an income. So God always provides though. He is just so good. So gas, we're going to do $120. So typically we've been spending about $50 a week on gas. So I was budgeting $70 a week, and that ends up being much more than what we need. So we're gonna do $60 each week. So that's where the $120, and then for groceries, we budget out about $85 a week. So we're gonna set aside $170 for that. $50 for our other budget. I meant to put this men's breakfast first, but I reversed it. That's why that's like that. So our buffer, which is what we're going to keep in our checking account as the available balance, is $100. And then for men's breakfast, this is 2 weeks of my husband going to the men's ministry at our church. They contribute $5 to help with the cost of food and different things. So that's why we're putting $10 for that. So let's go ahead and total that up and see what it comes to. $750. All right, we're $750. That leaves us with $780.82. And this money is going to go specifically for our goal, which is taxes and moving. So for taxes, we're going to put, just to be safe, $591 in that account. And then moving, we're going to put $189.82. So $591 plus $189.82. Goodness. $189.82. That leaves us with a zero-based budget, and that's exactly where you want to be. So you always want to be at a zero-based budget, giving every single one of your dollars a job. Give it an assignment. Don't just assume that you know where your money is going. It's nice to have a plan written out, and I personally love writing out my budget. There's just something to it. Yes, I do have an app. I use the Every Dollar app where I break down our monthly budget, which is kind of like an estimate. It's a guide. But there's something about when you physically write down your budget, it just does something else. If you feel me on that, then let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you and I are on the same page. Or if you feel different, let me know as well. How is it that you do your budget? Do you use Excel? Do you use Google Sheets or an app like I do with Every Dollar, and you only do that? I'd love to hear. And also your why. Why do you think that way is beneficial, and how does it help you? I'm always curious to know how other people do their budgeting. Okay, so now let's go ahead and figure out, with that information, what cash denominations do we need? And I'm only withdrawing my variable spending. I'm actually going to be using my printable mini envelopes here. These are available on my Etsy shop. So if you're wanting some printable envelopes, these ones are mini. I do have other sizes. Then go ahead and check out my Etsy shop. I'd love to have you over there. Okay. So we are going to be budgeting for 2 weeks worth of variable spending. So it is for groceries, and I'm just going to do groceries 1 and groceries 2. I did this the last pay as well, and then other 1, and then also other 2, and then the men's breakfast. So men's breakfast is getting $10, and then Others are getting 25. Groceries is getting 85. So the total cash that we are withdrawing is $230. Okay, so if you have a lot of different categories, let me actually zoom you in so you could see this better. If you have multiple categories and sinking funds and different things like I normally do, then you would list that out and you'll be able to break down what cash denominations you need. So since I'm only withdrawing minimal, we're gonna go ahead and do a 50, 20, 10, and a 5 twice. And then 25. And then I'm also just gonna take out a $10 bill. Okay, so we need 2 $50 bills, 4 20s, 3 10s, and 4 5s. So that equals 150s, $80, and 20s, 30, and then 20. So now is where you go ahead, head to the bank, and you can write up your teller slip and be ready to do your cash stuffing. So let's get to it. All right, before I get into the cash stuffing, we first have to figure out what is left over in my wallet. So I'm using this little wallet. I got it from TJ Maxx and I just loved the size of it and the little like pockets and things, and it's just really cute and I really like it. So I have been using these money clips here that I labeled just because I wanted to use this wallet really badly, but I figured that my mini envelopes, the way that I have it sized, and I don't have the lip, I actually cut that out so it could just be just like this instead of having the fold, and these fit. These fit in my zipper part. So I'm going to use those instead of the clip because although they do the job, I just was not feeling it. So we're going to retire these, okay, and see what I have left over. I have $5.01 left in from my wallet. So the penny is just going to go in my coin jug. I'm going to put her in there. So $26.20 is in my jug. And then the $5, I'm going to put it in this little savings challenge, which we are using towards our move, to save towards our move. And this will essentially just be stuff that will be purchased on the road. Okay, you know how sometimes things come up, maybe we need to get food or whatnot, even though we plan on having like a cooler with like snacks, drinks, maybe subs. We're gonna purchase that before we start driving, but just in case. This is like an in case of fund. And then whatever is not spent from here, we're gonna go ahead and just put it in our, towards a sinking fund, okay? So I'm gonna put this in here, and what do we have? We have 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $57 in here. And then this I'm just gonna keep in our safe. Cool. So little by little, small progress, but progress is still progress. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get to counting what we withdrew from the bank. So I have my little teller slip here, nice and organized. I took out the $230. So we have our 6 $5 bills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4 20s. 2 50s. Now let's get to stuffing our cash envelope. So I have my little 2 bank. I just keep this in my wallet just in case I were to use my credit card or something and I have to reimburse myself. So I'm just gonna keep that in there. And then let's go ahead and stuff these. So $85 is gonna go in my groceries envelope for the week. So I have 50, 70, 85. And that's just gonna go in here. And then other is getting 25. So these are good. Put them in here, and hopefully this closes now that the money is in there. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to turn it the other way. Yeah, turning it the other way will fit. There we go. And that fits beautifully. Okay, got my envelopes ready. And now the rest of the money. So we're gonna go ahead and put the 50, 70, 85 for groceries in my little envelope, and I'm gonna keep this in the safe. And then the 25 is gonna go in there as well for next week. So we have the 50, 70, 91, 105, and 110. This is for next week's variable spending that we're just gonna keep in the safe to go ahead and be good for next week's spending. And then I said I was gonna withdraw a $10 bill. I actually withdrew 2 5s. So this is for my husband for the men's breakfast for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside and give that to him. But you guys, that is everything for today's paycheck budget video. Simple, straight to the point, but that's the beauty of a budget. You can make it simple. I'm not about overcomplicating things, because a budget, it doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to make sense to you and your family and have it be effective. If it's not effective and you're not seeing progress, then that's where you might have to just make a change. A simple change of going to cash over a debit card or a credit card might be your answer. So if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys right here in a brand new one. Bye guys.